Hi, my name is Dennis Russell. I'm one of the co-coaches to Lead, Learn the Pathway to KW Leadership. And right now we're going to be talking to our special guest, Amina Blake-Foreman, who's had an incredible career, and she's going to help us each and every week walk you through how you can take advantage of all the wonderful leadership opportunities in Keller Williams. So Amina, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm so excited, Dennis. I am Amina Blake-Foreman. I am the wife first. I have an amazing husband, Glenn, two amazing boys, CJ and RJ. So I'm a mom, a very proud mom. I'm also the team leader for Keller Williams Legacy Partners. And we have 7 locations here in Connecticut. And I'm really excited to be here and to be on this journey with you, Dennis, and with all our future leaders that's going to be joining us in this program.
Well, Amina, it is my pleasure. Like I said, I'm one of the co-coaches. The other co-coach is Vishay Chevalier. And Amina, tell us a little bit, tell us a little about your background. You told us you're the team leader. Mm-hmm. How did you come to Keller Williams? Why don't you tell us that first?
Okay, so it's been a long journey. I came to KW in 2010. I was actually obviously with another company prior to that. And what brought me to KW was actually the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Someone gave it to me as a gift. And I remember going to Dominican Republic and on vacation, and I couldn't put this book down. And I got home and I said, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to reinvent the wheel when the model is right there in front of me? So I called up the local KW office and I said, all right, let's do this. And that's how I came here. In 2010, immediately got into MAPS coaching right away. No hesitation with that, because I knew that I had to make investments in myself to continue to move my career and my path forward. The second year at the company is, as soon as I was eligible, I became an ALC member, started teaching because I was always, giving back, helping others. I believe in lifting as we climb, right, Dennis?
Yep.
So immediately got into becoming an ALC member, started growing my downline. At this moment, I did a rough count the other day. I believe I have over 40 people now in my downline. And it's because I'm so passionate about this company, not only our culture and our models, it's very easy to start being of influence. And the reason why I gave you that backstory and add to the fact I'm 18 times bold. You'll never see me anywhere without my bold bracelet because I believe in bold. It's helped me through some amazing life challenges that could have gone much more sideways if I didn't have that bold classroom environment. So I'm a real student of KW. And I think it's important to share that in the journey because that's actually what's led me to the position that I have today, which is when my OP saw, 1, how I got involved in the ALC, 2, how I started growing my downline and influencing others, how I was teaching and giving back in the market center, and how I was always showing up to the trainings and attending bold. That's where the courting process started. We laugh about it all the time because it was literally 7 years. So maybe about 4 years into the company when he started talking about leadership and leadership opportunities to me. And I was like, no, I'm just going to run my team. I'm good. And then finally, he caught me at a moment.
Okay.
He caught me, and it was just because I had become a MAPS coach, I was excited doing that, and I went on maternity leave. And before going back into MAPS coaching, he's like, what about productivity coaching? And I was like, you know what? There's something special about that. Because remember, I said before, I always liked helping in my market center. And the difference for me between MAPS and the productivity coaching is that I got to have a real hands-on feel for the people that I was working with and developing. I literally got to see their businesses and their lives transform in front of my eyes versus, being a MAPS coach, which Dennis, I know you're a MAPS coach and you are amazing. And sometimes you're coaching. I remember coaching someone in a different country that I've never met to this day. So it's just a little bit of a different experience. So I said, you know what? I'll try it out.
Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. You're giving us so many nuggets. We need to slow down so that everybody can absorb it. Because if they're taking notes, they're like, oh my gosh, you said so much stuff. Let's go all the way back. You said something, and I want to make sure that I heard this correctly because I think this is what you said. When you came to Keller Williams, were you recruited by anybody or you just made the call because of the book?
Well, Yes. So let me clear that up. The book was gifted to me by someone who was the team leader at the time, right?
Okay.
I never felt recruited, which is again something that we'll teach and learn in the program. Once you're pouring value into others, it's only a matter of time that they want to be connected to you on a more regular basis. So what she did was smart, and it's something I use even in my approach to recruiting. I always say I'm not recruiting, I'm building co-broking relationships and I'm adding value to their world in a way such that when they see the need to grow their business or make the move, that I would be one of the first phone calls they make. And she did exactly that for me. And Susan Donnelly, if you're watching this, she was that amazing team leader that really just, we met on like a tour, open house tour that we were doing in the area. And she gave me that book as a gift. And that's how I read the book. And then I called her up.
All right. So she didn't do a deal with you. None of the agents in the office did a deal with you. She met you on a tour, like an open house tour. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that, because when people are thinking about leadership, I don't know if they realize what it looks like all the time. I think most people think it's always a title, and what she did, even though she was in the title position, that wasn't really like a title thing. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah. And you know what, Dennis, because leadership is about influence, right? And we're going to dive deep into that and the different levels of leadership. I think the key here is that she used a relationship approach, a value approach, which then created influence, where I wanted to be part of the organization that she was a part of because of what I saw in her and how she showed up and the value she delivered to me. It wasn't a hard sell, you come to KW or else, you're making the worst decision of your life if you don't, kind of thing. It was always about relationship and value and how she presented herself that caused me to want to become part of the organization.
And you said that how many people are in your profit share tree?
A little over 40.
Huh.
And there's still room to grow. There's so much opportunity there. There's still room to grow. And only preparing for this call, I was like, let me go take a hard look at that. And I was scrolling for a couple of pages, Dennis. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Well, Amina, that's really fantastic. And it just goes to show you what leadership can do. And you never know what's going to happen, who that person is going to become, who you're just having these casual conversations and building that relationship. And I think that's amazing. Okay, so I know you said when you came in, you became an ALC member your second year. About how many units were you doing then?
When I came to the company, I was doing about 20 units when I first got here. Okay,
and what's like your best year doing units?
Best year would have been 2017 before officially stepping into leadership. I had 102 units, number one agent in our region, individual agent in our region. And yeah, that was definitely my best year, although my team is still in production and we're on pace to crush that this year to have our best year ever too.
Wow, that is phenomenal. I love how you showed the growth and trajectory from going from 20 something units to over 100 and still doing that today. Well, let's talk about that for a minute. How does leadership play into that until you play into your having this team on top of you being the team leader?
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So again, I know we collectively as the instructors for this course believe that true leaders develop other leaders, right? Not just followers. And one of the things that I believe is vital to being able to have a successful team and have leadership opportunities is to have other leaders in your world. So my partner who runs the team is a true leader that I was able to entrust with the running of the team so that I can focus on the market center and growing and leading in that way. So lifting as we climb, right? As opportunities provided for me, I'm creating opportunities for others.
That's true leadership. Not just creating opportunities for yourself, creating them for others too. You're starting a path, you're blazing a trail for others to follow. That's genius. That's leadership. I love that. I love that. Now you've been through a lot of leadership positions, and you kind of rattled them off real fast. Let's kind of once again slow down and focus on each one individually. Yes. So you got into MAPS coaching, you took Bold, all right. And what was the first kind of leadership position you got? I think it was an ALC member. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, ALC, I was always involved in the education committee because that's kind of where my passion lie. So always, teaching classes, taking train the trainer advanced, and then it kind of progressed into the MAPS coaching would probably have been the next leadership position, although leadership shows up everywhere because every time I took Bold, all 18 times, I was my team captain, right?
Hold on a minute. Whoa. As a Bold coach, music to my ears, I'm loving this. All right. 18 times. And how many times were you the captain?
Every single time.
Why is that?
Oh, it grew me for sure. And honestly, I did it because I know if I'm the captain, I have to show up in a certain way to support the rest of my team. That made me a little more accountable. So I have the best experiences in Bold. Even, and I'll share this, personal story because the more removed it's become, it's a little easier to share. And I promise I'm not going to cry. But Bold has been so influential in my life. I remember going through a not so pleasant divorce where my ex-husband, for what it's worth, we left the courtroom, liquidated our bank account, $80,000 gone out of the bank account. Here I am, single mom, a child with epilepsy, having to care for him and his medication and not having any safety net, no money in savings, and I'm a real estate agent. So my OP at the time said, "You're taking Bold. I'm not letting you not take Bold. You are taking Bold." And I showed up. I took Bold. I was a team captain, even going through that. Again, it forced me, Mo Anderson says, you act enthusiastic, you will be enthusiastic. That was that Bold for me. I was showing up with a smile on my face, even though on the inside I was crying and wanted to go cuddle into a ball and just not even get out of bed. However, it forced me to show up, and being a captain, it forced me to show up and just show up as a leader at an even higher level. Took Bold that October, $80,000 gone out of the bank account. That December, my gross commission income in December alone was $80,000 exactly. And that for me is the power of Bold, and why I'm so passionate about Bold is because it's about your mindset and these opportunities that you have. And when you go through, because as leaders, we're going to have challenges, but part of leadership is to make sure that you actually don't really have the luxury of having a bad day. Right? You have to, even though you might have a bad day at home, you have to show up your best every day. And that little lesson was also preparation for some of the roles that I hold today. Being able to have certain things happening in your personal life, but still get up, show up, and go up. So I really attribute Bold for that piece of developing me for leadership.
Yeah, you sound like your leaders knowing the way, showing the way, and going the way.
Right.
And it's funny, we've kind of been building this program for the last, in a lot of ways, like 6 months. And I've never heard that story before. And just as a little bit of a sideline, Bold did the same for me. And I know we're kind of going off a little bit of a Bold tangent. I was kind of going through a lot of the same things, the same divorce kind of thing as well. So yeah. I'm completely there with you. I feel it. I understand how that works. And it's amazing that there are so many opportunities to show yourself as a leader, particularly in Keller Williams. And that was one that most people don't realize that that's a place they can start to exercise their leadership lid, by taking something like Bold and being the captain. That's powerful. That's powerful. So I love that. Okay. So you've taken Bold. It's now expanded your thinking. You're now progressing into other things. And then you became a MAPS coach. Is that correct?
Yep. MAPS coach. I
Tell
did
us about that.
agent coaching. Did that for about a year and a half. And then became the PC coach for our market center. Did that for all of 3 months. And then I became the interim TL to now being the TL for the past 2.5 years.
Okay. Amina, once again, maybe I made you slow down too much. All right, we need to we need to hear a little bit more about some of the incredible accomplishments that you had. And the great thing is, because I'm asking you the questions, you don't have to feel like you're bragging, because I'm asking the question. I'm asking you.
I hate talking about this stuff.
So you don't have to be all humble. Okay, I know you're humble. Everybody, she's very humble. All right. However, you have done some really amazing accomplishments, and I want people to hear that. So when we're going through the course and they're hearing you speak about how to do certain things, particularly, and I'm gonna tell you guys are in for a treat on day 3 when we talk about conversations. Whoo, you got one of the best in the business. So I want them to understand or know why you're one of the best in the business, because I know you got a couple of awards, one of the biggies. So tell us a little bit about some of your accomplishments as a team leader.
Well, as a team leader, I think one of the biggest ones, it's right here behind me. Look. I got the Black Belt Award, for recruiting. So that means that I was able to recruit over 120 agents every year gross. And I've done that for the 2 years that I've been in the role. So I'm really, really excited about that. And then this year.
Wait, hold, before we leave that, don't forget what you're going to say. I want to say this. That's critical, because what that tells everybody is that she's able to build those relationships such that she is able to influence them to make decisions to benefit them. And that's what leadership is all about.
Yes.
I don't want you to blow past that, Amina, because that is an amazing accomplishment, and it shows how you're able to build those relationships and have powerful conversations. Okay, continue.
And this year, for the first time in our Market Center's history, we became a $1 billion market center, where we crossed $1 billion in closed volume in a pandemic. We were able to serve our local area. That's well over 4,000 closings and over $1 billion in volume. I'm so proud of these agents that I get to serve with and who are our partners.
Well, tell us a little bit more about that. How long has your market center been in existence?
I want to say it's about 15 years.
Okay. And you've been the team leader how long?
I've been the team leader for 2.5, and I've obviously been with the company for about 10. All
right. So I love where we're going with this. Okay, you talked about you're a KW instructor as well.
Yes.
So do you have any favorite courses you like to teach? Any particular reason why those are your favorite? If you have any
my favorite is Business Planning Clinic. That's definitely the one that I like to teach, because and I usually try to teach that Business Planning Clinic somewhere in October. So allow people to have a solid plan going into the next year. Because Gary says it, right? The purpose of the goal is to inform the plan. And so many people set goals, but not do the full plan. And I love being able to sit with the agents. And when you walk out of a Business Planning Clinic, like, you literally have a full business plan that you can go out and just execute on. So that's my absolute favorite. And I also love teaching 6 Personal Perspective, because that's all about mindset, and you know how passionate I am with that.
Okay. Well, the fact that you love to do, set people up for a plan is another reason why it's so incredible that we got together to form this program. A little bit of history about this program. Vishay Chevalier and I were kind of working on something similar on our end, kind of with the MAPS program. And then we heard through Monica Reynolds and Matt Teeter, that the National Social Equity Task Force was also working on something. And because of that, then we came together and had a conversation and said, you know what? We are going in the same direction. Why don't we work together and make this the best program possible? And the things you like to do, the Business Planning Clinic, make sure people come up with a plan, is exactly what we're doing in this program, right? We're going to give people a plan and a pathway to leadership. So Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Social Equity Task Force, and how you came up with this idea, or your task force came up with some of the ideas that we're going to be using in this program.
And honestly, joining the task force, just again, when Gary sent out that letter, it hit so many of us in our hearts, and we just wanted to serve and wanted to see what we can do to make this already amazing company even more amazing, and the place that everyone would want to join and never want to leave. So we got involved right away. And then one of the things we started noticing is that there was a little bit of a gap in all the open positions that there are, leadership positions in KW, and people not really knowing exactly how to navigate their way through. You've heard my story today, and not every leader you talk to will have variations of their leadership journey. Yet there's certain things that's fundamental that will help prepare you to get on that path. And we noticed that if we created a program that made it very simple and gave people all the different benchmarks and the tools they needed to chart that course, that we will help our amazing company by allowing these leadership positions to be filled with really talented future leaders like you listening to this message today. So that's really where it was born, is creating a way so that no one felt like they were either being overlooked for an opportunity or not knowing how to get involved in an opportunity, because now you really have a way to design that for yourself.
Yeah, love it. I love that John and Kimber came together to really take the task force to that next level and to come up with that idea on your end. And we were able to, like I said, work together. And we saw what you said is exactly right. First of all, period, across Keller Williams, there are so many leadership opportunities. I mean, compared to most companies, and I haven't been to most companies, I'm just telling what I've heard, there are just so many other things you can do, not just be an agent or the broker. And there's so many levels, there's so many facets, and we're going to talk about a lot of that. How can you do these other things? And if you have that passion inside of you to be a leader, what else can you do other than be an agent on a team and be the broker? Mm-hmm. So I love that. I love where we're going with that. What else would you like to tell us about your story that will impact agents and why they should take this program?
Honestly, the biggest part of it for me is just my personal growth, right? I'm helping others grow, but they don't know how much they're helping me grow as well. And it's really allowed me, whether it's just across all of my other businesses that I've developed, just having that leadership skill. It doesn't stay in that one opportunity. You get to all the skills and the growth you experience, you get to bring it into all the different aspects of your lives, right? I get to bring that home in how I help lead my household. I get to bring that to my church and how I help lead in those community arenas. So the growth for me and what you experience personally when you're in a leadership position like this, you look back and you just love and enjoy the person that you become throughout the process. And that's really where I am. And one of the things that I'm most excited about, I've always had it on those like bold visioning exercise to become a market center investor. And finally, I'm having that opportunity. So it just unlocks so much opportunity when you get involved in a leadership way and you really serve with a servant heart. The opportunities become endless.
They do. They absolutely do. There's no better way to close that out. Actually, there was one other thing. You kind of mentioned some other things you're doing that encompass this leadership skills and leadership lid that you're constantly growing and increasing. Tell us some of the other things you're doing. You mentioned becoming a market center investor. Love that. Mm-hmm. There's some other things I know you're doing because I know you a little bit. So tell people the other things that this has grown to that are within Keller Williams, sort of, except maybe not an actual position.
Right. Well, a couple things. Number one, I own a real estate school. I also own a property management company. I buy and flip houses myself. I also have a virtual assistant company. And that's Vibe Connections out of Trinidad and Tobago. So having English speaking with a beautiful Caribbean accent. And that's where I'm from originally, Trinidad and Tobago. So these are some of the other businesses I get to help lead because I have amazing individuals that are in my lives and other leaders that I'm developing in each of those businesses. However, and again, that really goes back to the power of really honing in on your leadership skills. Yes, I have all these things that's going on, and being a team leader is my primary focus. However, because I develop other leaders, I have all these other sources of income where there's other people who I've empowered to kind of take ownership as have that be their one thing. So that really helps me. And I would not have been able to successfully do that if I didn't learn how to lead and have success through others. So I really am excited about all these different businesses and watching them grow and watching the leaders that are developing within them.
That sounds like leverage. That sounds like one of the 3 L's that Gary teaches: leads, listings, and leverage. Very nice. Very nice. Well, Amina, it has been an absolute pleasure to talk with you today. I know most of the stuff that you talked about, I kind of already knew. There was some stuff I didn't know, though. However, for everybody else out there, this program, you can see the kind of things that you can get from it in terms of how do you raise your leadership lid? How do you understand what different opportunities there are within Keller Williams? And to know that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is, these opportunities are for everyone. I know we said that the Social Equity Task Force was instrumental in getting this started. Yes, no doubt they were. This course, though, even though they're backing it, it is for everyone. Everyone. It's an inclusive course for everyone. All right, Amina, we're going to punch out now. I want to have you just say one final goodbye or whatever else you want to say to everybody, and then, we'll close this up.
Yeah, I guess I'll close out with my personal mission statement, which is to constantly seek wisdom and knowledge and to inspire the success of others through education. And that's why I'm excited to be on this journey, because it allows me to live out my personal mission statement by helping you guys, when you join us with the LEAD program, helping develop your success. So I'm excited, and we're going to see you in LEAD starting on April
the 15th, this Thursday. So you don't have many days. The program starts in a couple of days. So sign up now. This program is designed to find and fill KW leadership positions right now and to build a talent bench. We're going to provide the necessary skills and tools to set you up to be a successful leader in Keller Williams. We're also going to give you information that's going to help you lead a diverse market center like Gary Keller's encouraging. We're going to assist leaders to build that leadership growth plan to get them on their pathway in their leadership journey. And finally, we're going to spotlight and train these talented new agents and people. And that's going to increase your retention, your recruiting, and your profit. So for you, people that are taking the course, what that means is we're also going to be very, very diligent on giving you a purposeful plan on how to increase your profit share tree. So sign up now. Don't wait. And we'll see you on Thursday. On behalf of my co-coach, Vishay Chevalier, and our special guest, Amina Blake-Foreman, my name is Dennis Russell, and we'll see you Thursday.